Hey, what's happening, guys? Hey, I appreciate everybody coming on. Will, hey, what's up, Jack Stud? Chad, appreciate you guys being here. I know it was kind of short notice. It was really kind of my first dry run today of a live show. Chad's been kind of an inspiration. What's up, Jacob? Chad's been kind of an inspiration to me, man. I appreciate what you do. The Bearded Manjaro, I don't know if I'm even pronouncing that right, man. It's like aluminum. But I appreciate everything you do, man. You are such an inspiration, and keep doing what you're doing, brother. I think consistency is going to pay off for you this next year. What's going on there, SJ? Dino, what's up? I really appreciate you guys being here, guys. Again, like I said, I just wanted to do kind of a dry run of a live show on my channel, and just talk about some of the positives of 2024 in my life, and hopefully some things to come up in this new year. Watch, if you guys aren't following Chad, the Bearded Manjaro, go follow him. What he does, I'm also a bald individual, so I really enjoy watching his head shaving routine and products. Okay, I've been looking at using his channel, look at some stuff and to order for this new year. So. Aluminum. All right. Hey, it was a pleasure meeting Jack Stud a couple days ago. He was coming through town and we got a chance to meet up. Really appreciate it, man. It's so cool meeting people in the bearded community. He's like the second. Met a couple people, so it was really good. And guys representing EDC and Lee and Kim over there at the former EDC guys, wishing the best for them in this new year. I know Kim is tough as nails, and she's going through her thing right now. But she's got this. We know she's got this. I haven't really reached out to Lee. I don't know if anybody out there has talked to them, but I haven't really reached out to Lee and Kim. Talked to them here lately. I've been trying to give them some space, but really, always Mrs. Claus and myself are always praying for them, keeping them in our thoughts. So. Will, brother, I seen that bald head, man. Looks good. Appreciate it. Hey, Warren, what's up, brother? But guys, I just wanted to get on for a minute and talk about some of the positives that we can kind of pick out from 2024. Of course, for me, it's all the people I've met in the bearded community. As far as the bearded community goes, and the scent profiles, and just being able to share. My thoughts and reviews on just some great companies out there. So, share the comments what you think. I try not to fall in that trap, right? I did a video, my 14 companies that I use and carrier blends type things that I use as far as my routine, my weekly routine, because I did and sure enough, I did a top 10 tobacco scent review earlier this year, and I had some people reach out, and I think it may have hurt their feelings a little bit that they weren't on the list. And I try to explain to them, guys, I got like 140 tobacco scents, right? And it's hard to break it down to just 10. So, I tried to kind of veer away from the top anything. So I figured I'd be kind of safe with my weekly beard routine. And sure enough, and I know they were just joking, it doesn't matter who it is, but so a company reached out, said, so I guess we're not good enough to make it on your weekly routine. And I was like, oh, why? Yeah, American Classic, welcome. I was going to actually talk about you today. January 2018, 6 months to live. Man, what a powerful story. But guys, that company reached out, and it's a bigger company, and I know they were just joking, but I will be going over them because I'm trying, I try to share the love, and guys, I don't think people realize as a reviewer, it's hard to reach everybody. Of course, I'm going to, hit those small batch companies, but like Chad said today on his live, I love the bigger companies. I love Beard Octane's, wash and conditioners and things like that. They're not the only ones I use, but I really want to support the small batch companies, guys. That's what I'm here about. Not that the Beard Octane and those guys don't need support. It's just the fact that, they don't need maybe as much support as these smaller batch guys. And we're always pulling for the underdog, right? So, EDC was probably, one of my top favorite small batch companies. It's easy to say that now that their doors are kind of closed, but yeah, part two. I would like that. I would really like that, Chad. But EDC was very special. I own quite a few of their oils. I've kind of slowed down a little bit because I want to kind of make it last a little bit, but I still do use them. Hey, what's up there, Alan? Alan, if you're a fellow Santa man, hey. This is I'm doing kind of a beard kind of talk, but man, that's all about the Santa stuff. For those of you that may not know in here, I am a professional Santa Claus, if you haven't figured that already. But, and for me, people ask, well, why do you do beard content as well as Christmas videos and Santa videos? Well, for me, my real beard is an investment, right? And I always say that in the videos. So taking care of this beard is important. You always want it to look good, smell good, feel good. You don't want some kid touching your beard, because inevitably, and Alan, I'm sure can to attest to this, if you're a Santa there, is when they touch your beard or pull on your beard, you don't want them going, oh, and you don't want it all matted up and feeling like a Brillo pad. So, I believe in taking care of the beard. I also believe in spreading a positive message. People, always ask, is that for real? Hey, Jim, appreciate you being here, brother. Is that for real? Or are you just putting on a show? Guys, I'm as real as I can be. I'm going to tell you something. I spent a career in corrections and in the state of Texas, guys. And before that, I had served in the United States Army. I was in Desert Storm. Guys, I've seen enough death and destruction in my lifetime to save me, to last me a lifetime, right? So, what I'm doing now in my life and kind of more of the positive, guys, it means so much, right? Dino will be the first to tell you here. I saw Dino in here earlier. He's all about spreading the positivity. And guys, I'm be dropping a video tonight on why humility and positivity means so much more, and why people, you tell me. I think people would much rather be around people that are positive and people who are who have a sense of humility, rather than somebody who's arrogant and just brutish. Listen to me sound like 1863 English here, brutish, but right. But I just believe that in leadership and in our own lives, that positive message and that humility really goes a long way. So, but I appreciate it, guys. Appreciate y'all being here. Some of the positives for me, Candace, Mrs. Claus, my wife's been going through a lot of medical things this year with her eyes, her diabetes in her eyes, guys. We've been going through the ringer with it, or she has. I've just kind of been there, hopefully supporting her a little bit. But hey, Tactical Setup, brother, I'm so glad you're here, man. I appreciate Dino so much, just like I do all of you guys. But Candace has been kind of going through the ringer this year. She's had a lot of the glaucoma stuff going on, and just stuff that deals with diabetes is a horrible disease, and I just have learned so much, and just hopefully being by her side, just kind of helps her out a little bit, right? But she's been going through that, but things are starting to look on the positive. She went through multiple surgeries, and I try not to put all that out there, in the past, but now that it's kind of looking up, she's doing good. She's doing really good. So that's a positive from this last year. It's hard. It's easy sometimes to dwell on the negative things. American Classic, my son is 5. He touched Santa's beard at school and knew it was fake. After that, he didn't. I wore a fake beard 1 year. Nothing wrong with the guys out there doing it, because this world needs more Santa Clauses, right? But I wore a fake beard 1 year, and it is not for me. I'm going to tell you something. That's one of the hottest things. The suits are hot enough already, but you throw that beard on there, whoo, you are smoking, all right? It is hot. I have a lot of respect for those guys that get those real good-looking beards, and put them on. Because guys, I'm here to tell you, I appreciate the prayers, guys. But you know, I decided a couple years ago to start growing my beard out for that reason. That's not all the way Snow White, but I do whiten it. I don't bleach my beard. I do try to take care of it. So, but guys, I've learned so much in the Santa business this year, guys. I'm gonna tell you what, if you have a white beard or even a beard in general and never thought about being a Santa Claus, guys, I would highly, if you want to have one of the most fulfilling feelings in your life, guys, be a Santa Claus one time and see what it feels. It's almost like you're putting on a superhero outfit, right? You put on that suit, and it just you almost feel like a superhero. And the look in the kids' eyes when they see you walk through that door is phenomenal. Now you got the little ones. There's like a certain age, like between 1 and maybe 2, where it's like a lot of them are terrified, and they just terrified of that red suit. But beyond that, the little older kids and that, guys, it is I know it's kind of cliche. It's a magical experience. So, guys, hey, drop down in the chat, and I'll try it. It's kind of harder doing this by yourself, but drop down in the chat some of the positive things that's happened to you this year. Guys, for me, jacked up. Hey, man. Hey, dude, guys, Jacob's another one. If you're not following, go check him out. And his leather working craft is phenomenal. I wanted to get a belt from him last year. I might have to, if he's still doing it this next year, I may have to do it for this next year. The funds started kind of going to other things this next year. But what amazing work he does. So I really appreciate you, Jacob, being a part of my life and the bearded community. But guys, meeting so many beard owners and talking to so many beard owners, Jim, I'll use for an example. I don't think he would mind, but Jim of Small Town Traditions, I was able to do a collaboration with him this year. In fact, here it is right here, Santa Tom's Workshop. Looking at, it's always, man, I usually check my nails before a video. I was out there doing a little work earlier, clean them. But anyway, Santa Tom's Workshop, guys. This was so much fun doing a collaboration with him and talking to him and hopefully, seeing his company grow more and working with him. And guys, just the advice that I've been able to give means a lot, that company owners would listen to your advice. I'm sure Chad could agree with that. Guys, that, when company owners listen to you or reach out for your advice, it is humbling. Right. So, I've had the opportunity to do that and with several companies. Chad says there's one at the Kringles in Branson, Missouri. Man, what a great place Branson, Missouri is for Santa or Christmas, anything, right? That has an amazing beard. Yes, there's some amazing Santa Clauses. Guys, I trained under probably, in my opinion, the best in the world, and that's Santa Ed Taylor. If you want to see a picture of Santa Ed Taylor, just Google that Santa guy, right? Or Santa to the Stars. Guys, this guy he's done it all. He's been in LA, been with all the stars, but such a humble human being. And what a great beard this man has. And he is just epitomizes Santa Claus to me. Jacob says, had a little girl ask me for a mom, so her dad won't be sad. Yeah, those are the roughest, right? Right. Yeah. Those ask for their mom or dad back or loved ones. Those are tough. Dino says, I'm thankful to get to be a part of the Tres Amigos, be a part of Amazing Beer Community. Absolutely. I was going to talk about that, but the Tres Amigos, guys, is a humbling experience. We kind of patterned our show, if you haven't realized already, off of the Bearded Respect. We have, pun intended, much respect for those guys and love what they do, and kind of wanted to do something as a pre-warm-up for those guys, and it has just been an absolute blast. Dino and Steve have become such close friends for me and been such a positive influence in my life, right? Chad says, I need to get a hold of Jim at STT. I couldn't find an email or contact to reach out to him. Yeah, I'll shoot you some information, Chad. Jim, I think Jim would benefit from talking with you, and also maybe getting you a hold of some products that you could review. You'd absolutely love it. just great Phil Beard, great all around company. Jim is such a humble, good man. It's just the kind of guy you want to root for. Yeah. Will says I survived, or Jack Stud. I'm sorry, I don't know if I should call you Will or not on here, but Jack Stud says I survived a bad wreck about 2.5 weeks ago. Couldn't have gone much worse than it did. Not sure how it didn't, but really opened my eyes and think, man, won't that bring things in perspective, right? Any kind of life-altering event will kind of bring things in perspective and make you realize. And that's one thing I've kind of reminded my wife, over and over again, just trying to be there for her, is no matter some of the things that we think we're going through that are tough, there's always somebody going through a lot worse. We had somebody comes to mind, Odino, what was his name? Help me out here. I just went blank, who we had on our show. Chad, really, Dustin Bunch. He really is. But we had Dustin Bunch on our show. This was a strapping, good-looking man, still is, but strapping, good-looking young man, 6'4", firefighter, just massive guy, just, and his life changed in an instant when he broke his neck. And, hey, Tim, good to have you here, brother. Tim, or Dustin broke his neck, he became a quadriplegic or paraplegic, changed his life forever. Right. But his mentality and his outlook on life. Yes. Thank you, Dustin Bunch. His outlook on life is wonderful. If you haven't watched that story, please go to the Trace Amigos talk show on YouTube and watch that show. It's so inspiring, guys, to watch him and make you feel like, man, no matter what I'm going through in life, man, it ain't even a quarter as bad as what he's gone through. And he's still got that positive attitude. Alan says, one of the most fun things is my clients enjoy having Santa taking care of their lawns. Man, that's awesome. I wore my Santa. I had to have a little part-time job. I work a few days a week, but I wore my Santa outfit up there one year. Everybody in the world wanted to take pictures. That's got to be fun, man. Gosh, it's got to be hot, though. Where do you live? You live, I live in Texas, so even in December, it could be pretty warm. So, but yeah. But guys, again, I appreciate all y'all so much. I don't just say that just to say that. I don't say things like that to get more views, to get more subscriptions. I could care less about all that stuff. One of the things Dan C told me, and also somebody else that I've talked to and look up to, is Greg Boswell. Greg Boswell's big in not only the bearded community, but just like a life coach in general. Virginia, all right, man, beautiful state. But I'm going to tell you right now, they both told me, one of the biggest things they told me when I reached out to them when I first started the YouTube deal, and Chad, man, I'm sure you've heard this the same way, is don't worry about those subscriptions. You have fun, keep your energy, it will grow. And it has, it was getting a little frustrating there for a little bit. Then it started growing. Then it kind of stalled out. And then, guys, I'm telling you what, Christmas hit. And I guess all those Christmas videos that I've been posting, over the last year just really blew up. I mean, my gosh, I just got on dressed as Santa reading The Night Before Christmas, and man, it's like jumped up to 17,000 views. And guys, which is crazy to me, because in my mind, I'm thinking, who in the world, 17,000 views? Now, I'm not saying they could have just clicked on it. I don't know, but it just blows me away that many people would even view in to watch me, So again, without sounding too corny, guys, that's just, always the video I'm dropping tonight, guys, is always, no matter what happens, stay humble. Right. That's just something that, my dad taught me kind of indirectly. Now, he was by no means, he was humble, but he was by no means the one who would just come out and say that. But through kind of some of the actions in his life, he's gone now, but through some of the actions in his life, we can always glean something from somebody, whether we agree with them or we disagree with them. We can learn from the things that we agree from, but you can also learn from the things that you disagree from, right? And I really try to take that to heart. You can learn from anybody, whether they're a great individual or a fool. All right, from the fool, you can learn how not to be a fool. So, not saying my dad was a fool by any means. Yeah, Tim, Christmas people like that Christmas stuff. Well, that's a good thing because I like it too, and I like giving them the Christmas stuff. But Tim, for those of you who don't know, is the owner of Rocky Top Beard Company. Tim, I don't know if Bearded Manjaro, he's a big reviewer, guys. Yes, Chad, humility looks good on us. Absolutely. But Tim, Chad is another good one to reach out to, talk to him for any kind of advice, products. Tim is a newer beard owner, Chad, beard company owner, doing a great job. Just changed up his Carrier blend, which I think is really, really good and has got some phenomenal sense as well. And he's going to be going places. And I'm going to tell you why Tim's going places, because he stays positive and he doesn't care what anybody else thinks or says. He's going to prove them wrong. And he's just got that dog, that dog mentality of he's going to keep fighting just to prove people wrong, saying that they can't make it, So, Alan said, just subscribed last week after it popped up on my YouTube. Still trying to binge watch. There's a lot of good information. Anything helps. Hey, we appreciate you, brother. Hey, what's up there, Sockeye? What's up, brother? In my opinion, you and the Amigos have potential to grow, and not caring about the followers is a good keep going, man. Inside, yeah, I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna tell you what this has helped me out doing in my line of work. As far as being a professional Santa Claus, doing all those videos, man, these kids will test you. They will get up on your lap. Hey, Corey, appreciate you being here. These kids will get up on your lap with an iPhone to fact check you. And don't think they won't. Tell me if I'm wrong there, Santa's in here. They will fact check you. All right. They will ask you questions. And all that what they failed to understand is Santa Tom had about 800 videos of Christmas as Santa facts that I could lean on. And they were just sitting there with their eyes open. And you're like, wow, and I had a parent come up and ask me the same thing, asked me, try to catch me off guard and ask me like a trivia question the other night at 2 days before Christmas. Right. But yeah, I appreciate that, Chad. Thank you very much. But Tim asked if I'm on Instagram. I'm on Instagram, and yes, I don't. Yes. I think, Chad, you're on Instagram, right? And feel free to leave your information on here. Anybody, Instagram information. I know Chad definitely on YouTube. I think he said he doesn't do the Instagram, Facebook thing as much, but he's definitely on YouTube. He's got a great channel, guys. Please go check it out. I'm in awe of the and guys. I'm gonna tell you what kind of nerd I've become. Listening in and making bombs. Corey, you do you. I'm going to tell you, I've got a lot of things I'm kind of jumping around here on, but I love jumping on Corey's lives on Instagram, guys. Jump on there and hit that notification deal they have on there where he comes live. Guys, he just gets on while he's working and just talks. And it is one of the most relaxing things, and that's the kind of beard nerd I am, right? It's just one of the most relaxing things that I do. Him and Dynamite and some others, guys, just love jumping on and listen to them. Just do what they do. Yeah, Chaz just on YouTube. Am I live on Instagram as well? I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm not. Dino, I think Dino, Tactical Santa, and Steve are. Yeah. Dino says he guards the North Pole. That's his joke. He's got Elf Team 6, and he guards the North Pole while I'm out delivering gifts. Yes, Corey is the owner. Corey Weatherby is the owner of Weatherbeard. Co-owner, right? Corey says he can go live when he's done. When I'm done, I'm just getting bombs laid out right now. I know I was watching him earlier. He had to go deliver some beard gifts to the post office. Yeah, I'll have to check out Tim's streams. Yes, sir. Yes. Tim does do some live streams. Yes, sir. Tim, my wife and I. Yes. And his wife. His lovely wife's kind of always behind the scenes. I think she's kind of coming more out now. But as far as I love in that video y'all did when y'all had the teeth, the gangster teeth in, and I fell out of my chair laughing so hard. That was so good and so well done, man. You just so creative. Yeah. Tim is from Tennessee. Yes. There you go. Yeah, Corey's in Tennessee as well. So there, while you guys are talking in the chat. But guys, Corey is a good example. Another beard company. He's been around for close to maybe 10 years now. He's an OG in the bearded community. But like some others out there, doesn't mind talking with other small batch companies and sharing advice. And, one of the things that Twitch and I were talking about today on his live stream together, I jumped on with him, was we used Corey as an example of some of the things he wishes he would have instilled in his business when he was running it. And one of the things is all the local work and what people don't see behind the scenes, all the local work and keeping that local base up, right? And that's something Corey at Weatherbeard does is they're always going out to craft shows and these farm and market shows. I'm sorry, Corey, I don't really know what they're called, but I'm talking about these shows and sets up these events, these tables out there and gets his product out there. And also 9 years, I want all the small guys to make it the next step. That's what he's all about, man. He's all about positivity. That's why I like him. That's why even though I have 400 beard oils in my bathroom, I still go back and buy his and use it in my weekly routine, because it not only is it a quality product, but I enjoy supporting a quality business like that with that mindset, right? And he does have a quality product, all right? So, but guys, I'm easily distracted. You could tell it's hard not to look at these chats and talk, but guys, hey, let me know. I can kind of guess what some of y'all's positive moments are. I talked about, mine's always my wife, my kids. Of course, the kids, once they move out of the house and they're older, they're all up there in their 30s now. They proud of them, but always proud of them, but very thankful for them. But it's just me and my wife now and our dogs, right? So I'm very thankful for what I have and our health. As much as it seems like it might deteriorate sometimes, it's still good to be here and enjoy others. And the bearded community has just been that brotherhood and that camaraderie that, guys, reminds me of the military when I was in the military. That's honestly what it reminds me of, because it's almost like, most everybody has got your back. I'm not going to say everybody. I know, guys, we all know that there is people out there, but I don't want to talk about that right now. But, but we focus on the ones that stand by each other and stick to each other. Dan C is a good example. It blows me away, regardless of what you think about Dan C, right, wrong, indifferent, positive, negative, whatever you think. Dan C is such a vital and important pillar in the bearded community and has meant so much to me, and I'm sure Chad as well, that he can be so big in the content creator world as far as the bearded community and still take time to answer every question that anybody has, every comment that they post on YouTube, any email I've ever sent him, he's answered right back. Guys, I hear people say, well, he charges for this. And hey, this is the United States of America. We are a capitalist society, believe it or not, still, whether people want to agree with it or not. And he's living the American dream is the way I feel about it. The same way Corey is, the same way those others out there that are doing full time in the business that they love doing. That's the American dream, guys. I'm not gonna lie. If one day I could be fully independent and do what I'm doing right now, you don't think I'm gonna jump on it? Absolutely. But I also understand that those that have come before me have paved the way, like Chad, like Healthy Bearded and Dan C and these guys and every other reviewer, whether smaller reviewers, it doesn't matter how big or whatever. they've paved the way to where I can kind of come in, cut my teeth on their content, and grow from that. If that makes sense, guys. I know I'm kind of going off there. Hey, Blake, how you doing? It's good to see you, man. I'm trying to catch up on these chats. Hey, Santa, you've been such a positive influence. Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm trying to get back up here. Influence on me since I met you. Thank you for everything, brother. You don't, man. You don't. I don't think you realize how much that means to me. Tim says, Corey, let me link up through Messenger. 100% facts about Dan. He has single-handedly helped more companies. And I'm going to tell you what, Corey is one of the biggest supporters of Dan C. And for that reason. And there's others out there, of course, other companies. And it's not just because Dan talks about his products or anything. It's guys, you just look at the facts. You know, regardless of what, and maybe getting to that point to where you can reach out to Dan and he's able to help you out, guys. Then, you know, but you know, there's a reason. I have this theory. There's a reason. People always say, why do billionaires not help the poor? You know, or why don't they just, you know, they could just help so many poor people. Well, you know, there's that old adage, you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. You teach a man to fish, he'll, you know, he can eat forever, right? I know I'm chewing that all up, but the same goes true that if a small company starts up and let's say Dan C just comes in and helps every small business that comes in and helps them grow. Well, what are they learning? They're learning that Dan C knows what he's talking about and he can help anybody out, right? But what they're not learning is the struggles, the hardships, the blood, sweat, and tears that Corey's went through to get to the point that he's at today, and others that are in his situation, Chris and Tara over there at True North, and others, many others, guys. And the same thing that kind of Tim is, hey, True North, hey, the same thing that Tim's kind of learning right now as a new startup company, right? Guys, I have learned so much from these company owners, not just content reviewers. Guys, I watch these company owners that get on, Chris and Tara and Corey and these other guys that get on there and talk about the things that we don't see. You know, the struggles that they go through, that we get the end result, and we get to benefit from that. But we don't see the blood, sweat, and tears that they go through, right? If that makes sense. Hey, appreciate you guys being here, guys. True North. Okay, so I just did a video of my 14, not top, but my 14 beard oils that I've used and a regular rotation through the year. True North is kind of, even though I've been watching True North for a while, they're kind of newer to me in the beard oil, right? I haven't really bought a lot, even though but because I appreciate Chris's advice and everything that he's done for me, I've started to buy more. I join their channel to try to support that way. But guys, I'm going to tell you what, watch out for the butter video that's coming out and the wash and conditioner video that's coming out, because yeah, I think you'll see some of the love there. All right. Jacksta Dancy is the founding father. Well, he's one of them. You know, I have a lot of respect for BeardTube. Like them, love them, hate them. I love them. I absolutely love BeardTube, Scuba, and guys, he's another one that reached out to me actually for a review I did on beard meds, and guys, it meant the world to me. I don't get starstruck, but some of these guys that reach out, I'm like, whoa, you know. But Corey, there's a ton of companies that aren't even affiliates of his that he has helped to get to the next step. Very true. Very true. Guys, that's the number one complaint I always hear is, you know, well, you got to have money for dance. You know, yeah, that's it. But see, Corey, but Dan's not out there. He doesn't have to go out there. It's people like you that come out, people like Chris that come out and stand up for Dan C, and guys like us, content creators that know, you know, Dan C does not have to get on the Trace Amigos show with 145 subscribers on Thursday night to pop in to say hello. But guess who jumps in just about every Thursday to say hello? Dan C Bearded. Guys, it humbles me that he takes the time to kind of go around and make sure he says hello to everybody. For me, he's kind of like the big brother, kind of like patting you on the shoulder saying, hey, you guys keep doing what you're doing. You're doing good. Yeah, put the time in, Chad. Absolutely. Will says, Jack Stuff says, Dan is very educational. Yeah. Anytime I have a question, guys, I'm going to tell you what, you go to that search bar on his YouTube channel, you type in what you're searching for. I guarantee you there's a video on it. I have yet to have a question. Yeah, what was that again about stripping? Let me go back there, and inevitably you find a video. Sockeye Dancy quit his day job to be a content creator. Respect his business decision to charge. He needs to feed the family. Yeah, we live in the United States, guys. He has the right to, if he can do what he's doing, and guys, absolutely 100%. And just what he's done for the bearded community, nobody can replace. It's like, I hear the thing about Fable Beard Company. I'll just throw them out there because they're a little larger company, right? Like them or love them, and I'm gonna steal this from Chris because he actually talked about this one time, and it meant a lot to me. Like them or love them, Fable is important to the bearded community. All right. Whether somebody's out there looking for a newer product and it gets them started, hey, that's wonderful. And if it works for them and they stick with them, that's great. But it also helped me get into, because I started out with Fable and jumped more into some other companies several years ago, guys. But they got me started and headed in the right direction. All right. Corey says, just 7 days a week working $500,000 of my own money, going back into the business must be nice. Right. I joke around with Tyson, over there at Copper Johns and always talk to him about being must be nice being a multi-millionaire, successful. And he just sits there going, huh? But, we just assume, right? As consumers and customers, we just assume, they're doing good. I'm paying $20 a beard oil in there. They must be selling all this. Guys, if you've never owned a business and don't own a business and don't understand about overhead and taxes and this and that, I own a part-time entertainment business as far as a professional Santa Claus. And guys, I'm gonna tell you what, the suits that I have, I've got $8,000 in suits. I'm not bragging, guys. It's just the reality of it. As suits, belts, boots, and all of that, accessories. Entertainer insurance, because these days you have to have insurance, right? You have to have a minimum of $1 million liability insurance, and along with that, it's sad to say, is included in that is the molestation, coverage and all of that stuff. That's just the world we live in today. But that's extra, guys. The gas, the wear and tear of my car, traveling hundreds of miles to go to different events, guys. But that's what I chose to do. It's what I love to do. But people don't see that, because so when somebody brings up, well, why do you charge so much to do an event? Well, let me break it down. Okay. I am a real bearded, insured, certified, background checked Santa that will provide the best entertainment and event that you've ever seen in as a Santa. Jack Studd says Scuba is a cool dude. Absolutely. Bearder Majaro says True North has a great wash and conditioner. Made my beard. Let me tell you something. I'm not going to say no. I just got my first beard and conditioner yesterday from them. I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to give away my next video. But anyway, there you go. It's, guys, that wicked citrus. It's good. And the same with Corey, or whether, I got his beard and wash too, guys. Anyway, I don't want to give stuff away. Tactical Santa says, I am very lucky to have Santa Tom, Bearded Chief, and Blue Collar Bearded to mentor me and help me. I don't know how much I mentored you, brother. I think Steve and Kevin have forgotten more than I know, right? So just good people, but you're right. I feel the same way about them. Corey says, you got to pay a mechanic to fix your car too. Why not pay someone who understands the industry to help business? Hey, that's the American way, right? Me and Chad have recently kind of started chatting back and forth with each other, and kind of bouncing ideas and questions off of each other. Hey, why not collaborate, find out what works, for him and what works for me, and see if it can't help each other grow. That's what this is all about, right? And I'm going to tell you, Corey, you and Chris, since you're both in here, And even Jim, because Jim's kind of learning that, and I think Tim will learn it as well. I didn't see, and Sockeye. That's, to me, that's the key. And I'm dropping a video tonight at 6 o'clock about humility and positivity, guys. And again, that's why people gravitate towards True North, towards Weatherbeard, Supply Co., and many others out there. But that's why they gravitate, is because people want to be around others that promote and are positive towards other people. That's my experience, and that is my perception on it, right? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but that's just the way I feel about it. Kev, good to see you, brother. Kevin, we're going to have Kevin and his lovely wife on the show next month, guys. We'll be coming out, and we are looking forward. And somebody said if he's allowed out of the shed, I don't know where all that came from. It sounds kind of like probably a True North thing, but anyway, I don't know why I said that, but it just sounds like something that came around from the True North crew. But we look forward to it. Corey also says the bigger. Guys, this is why I love Corey. He is just a library of knowledge and advice. The bigger the companies are able to get, the more people become aware of beard care. The industry is so young. We need companies to be blowing up. There you go. Takes money to make money. Bearded Death. Hey, Bearded Death, good to see you. He's another one. Bearded Death's another one I'm going to be talking about more in 2025. That's kind of newer to me. Appreciate you being here. Baker. Hey, Amber. Just talking about you. I don't know if you were in here when I was talking about you. Hey, how you doing? We're excited about having you and Kev on the show, and what you mean to the bearded community. Jamie, hey guys, Santa Jamie Saucer is in here. He is a mentor of mine in the local Santa community, and just epitomizes the positivity that I'm talking about, and just the humbleness that I'm talking about. And I appreciate you, Santa Saucer, for being in here. And the events that you've let me take over for you this year have meant a lot to me, especially at the Veterans Museum and helping out. I had such a good time. And I told him, if Santa Jamie Saucer does not come back next year, please call me, because I will be here in a heartbeat. That was so much fun, meeting the veterans and taking pictures with them. And what's even more fun is didn't charge them a dime, and it felt so good giving back to the community that way. I appreciate you being in here. We are in it to help everybody succeed on both sides of the aisle. Absolutely. All right. I'll have to send you a DM. Please do, Corey. You know I'm always love hearing from you. It doesn't cost anything to be a good person to help others. Will, you're absolutely right. Tactical Santa, same thing. I go through being a firearms instructor. People want to know why I charge more than other instructors. I let them know people are paying for my experience. Absolutely. Same thing Corey said about being a mechanic. You want to take your car to it and take a chance of taking somebody, a shade tree mechanic. Nothing wrong with guys that just work in their own place. But I'm just saying, or you want to go with somebody, that's why I'm a big proponent of going to the dealership and go and take it to the experts and people that know. People say, "Oh, you're going to pay more." Well, if it's going to get my vehicle fixed right, I don't mind paying a little bit more, right? So I have to keep bringing it back. Hey, Mike, it's good to see you, guys. So many people I look up to, respect, are jumping in here. You don't know what this means to me. It really does. This was my first. I'm trying to cut my teeth in the live thing. Just want to jump in here and talk about some positive things for 2024. Amber says, I think I was something between the bearded respect and True North, because Kev's always in trouble. You guys are so funny, and I appreciate you guys so much. My dude from the South, Santa Tom. Who is that? Preston Smith. Hey, how you doing? It's good to see you, man. Kevin, I may not bring it upon myself. Yeah, I may or may not. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Dan. What Dan jumped in here? I have to go back and look. I don't know. I don't know who jumped in here, but hey, guys, I'm over in the big chat now. Okay. Corey, we respect your time. I appreciate that, Corey. That means a lot. One of the reasons why I just was so consistent making videos and being involved in the bearded community is something else that I got from Dan C. And that is, build up that respect and build up a reputation. And not just Dan C. Another guy that I follow that I look up to a lot is Greg Boswell. And if you don't follow him, guys, what a great life coach he is. Just an all around good person. He may not be as active in the bearded community because he just does a broad spectrum of videos, but I absolutely love him. And he's another one that told me is build up that respect, and stay positive. People will be able to weed out and know if you're truthful and you mean what you say, guys. And that's important to me because the only thing that we're born with, Chris, I'm gonna kind of bring out some of the knowledge like you bring out right here. Right. I hope so. The only thing that we're born with is our name and our word, right? So if you lose that, you've done lost everything. You leave nothing else to this world but your name and your word, that legacy that you leave behind, right? So it's very important to me. I don't want to tarnish, and I try to raise my kids that way. I don't want to tarnish either one of them. All right. I've done some bad things in my life. I've done some things I'm not proud of, like we all have. All right. But it's never too late to turn around and start bringing that positivity and build up that respect in whatever community or event or organization that you belong to. So Alan says, you're right. It's just like lawn care. You're paying me for a professional job. Absolutely. I can go out there and have all zigzags in my lawn and make it look, thinking I'm mulching and doing a good job when I'm actually doing more damage than worth leaving ruts in my yard. Or you hire a professional to come out and do what they know what they're doing, right? Greg has great content. Yes, sir, he does. My son Daniel loves your videos, Tom. Again, Jacob, that means the world to me. And Candace and I pray for your son, and we think about him all the time, whether you believe in prayer or not. We do, and think about you guys all the time, guys. And it's just you are such a good human being for being there for your son, because I'm gonna tell you what, in these days, there's guys out there that aren't so, that would have done packed up and left and went on to greener pastures, or what they think's greener pastures and easier life, right? So I have so much respect for you and what you do, being there for your son, and that commitment that you have. Yeah, right. Gareth, absolutely. We all have missteps. You can't avoid that in life. And no doubt that, that's where all this gray comes from, right? Those missteps and learning, and plus raising three daughters, right, did this to me too. And but the joy and the satisfaction that I get from that is them calling me now and saying, Dad, I am so sorry that I put you through what I put you through. I understand more now than you'll ever know. And guys, that was that stick-to-itiveness. Guys, I'm only going to stay on for about another 10 minutes, but I can't tell you how much I appreciate you being on here. Kevin says, I was a little worried about Amber getting negative feedback, not being a man or having a beard. Not once has she had an issue in the community. This is a great place. I want to get back to that right there. Chad says, I really love the bearded community. Just a great crowd and encouraging people. Yes, absolutely. And Kevin, I'm going to tell you something. I honestly, and I'm going to say this now because we're kind of months beyond that. I honestly worried the same thing for Amber. And I'm with you. Not once have I seen any, because I was ready to pounce, right? Just like I'm sure everybody in the bearded community was. That first person that said something, they were going to pounce, right? So and I think I mentioned today that I think that Amber's kind of like that. Both of you guys, you're kind of like that adopted sister or kind of parent figure in the bearded community. You guys are just that. You bring that positivity, and the things that Amber is doing, it just makes sense. It's like Corey said earlier, it's so young, such a young community that people are kind of starting to fill in the gaps. Right, that the things that Amber's doing with her newsletter is just phenomenal. Right, I belong to and some of these Santas in here. I'm not sure if I don't remember asking him if Santa Saucer is, But I belong to the Lone Star Santas, which doesn't mean it makes you any better as a Santa, but it's an organization. It's the largest Santa organization in one state in the United States, right? I think there's over 400 members. Guys, they do these functions, they do these get-togethers. It's just like the bearded community. You get to come together, talk about your experiences, learn from one another. Santa Sauce has been doing this for many, many years, and I learned so much from these guys. That's, again, staying humble and never feeling like you've arrived. I guarantee if you ask Dan C. if he's arrived or if he feels like he's where he wants to be in his profession or his life, or if you ask Corey or Chris or Sockeye or any of these other beard company owners, have you arrived where you want to be? Well, of course they're going to say no, right? Because you keep striving to be more, to be better. And that's not arrogant. That's just the American dream. But we've come to a place in our society, I think, where people said, well, yeah, you can't have too much. Well, why not? We shouldn't be limited by what others feel like that we should be. Man, I'm getting off on a Chris tangent here. See what you've done to me, Chris? True North. Guys, I appreciate and love you guys so much. Gareth says Santa community in general is terrific people. Yes, but just like the bearded community, there's people out there that try to bring that negative in, but people usually stomp that stuff out. Amber says, I have a lot of big brothers that have my back. Yes, you do. And that means very much to me. Absolutely, you do. Mike says, big brother. Yeah, he's a good big brother to have. Right. Corey says, it's going to be amazing to see what this industry looks like in 10 years. Think about how many more companies and creators that there will be. We all are pioneers. Hey, guys, if you guys like stuff like that, what's just been said, make sure you follow Corey on Instagram, because he goes live just about almost every day, and he talks about stuff like that, guys. The same with Chris and Tara over there at True North. Follow them, guys. Learn. I have never, I don't know if they mind me saying, ask them questions, but I have never asked a question and they not answer it, or give me advice. So I appreciate that. Jamie, Lone Star Santas and the Worldwide Santa Claus Network. I am too. And I was just talking about Santa Ed Taylor earlier and how he epitomizes Santa Claus for me the same way as you do. So yeah, I appreciate you, Blake. Amber, we should always strive to improve and be better. There is nothing wrong with consistency and improving. So, yeah. Why have we gotten away from that in this culture, right? Why have we gotten away? And why is it you're an outcast if you try to support others because they're succeeding, right? That's like, we're talking about Lee. Lee, when he was in business, would still reach out to me every day, just not talk about beer stuff, but just, hey, Tom, how you doing? Corey has, others have, hey, how you doing? Just reaching out, just out of the blue. Guys, that kind of stuff just doesn't happen in real life. It's a community. Amber, we should always strive to improve. Yeah, I just read that. So every day, packing orders. Yeah, Corey, every day. And it's all he's doing is packing orders and talking to you, answering any questions. I see other beard companies jump in and ask him questions, and he'll give an answer. Corey also had turned me on to a company that I'm absolutely enjoying. That's 8-Bit Beard Co. I'd never even heard of them. I take that back. I think I did hear Dan C. talk about them. But to be honest with you, when I first saw their labeling and all that, I kind of thought it was silly or kind of a joke at first. Not speaking negative about them. I just kind of thought it was kind of I didn't know until I started looking into it. And then when Corey mentioned it to me, that was one of his, I'm not going to say favorite, but one of his go-to beard oils. I jumped on it. Guys, been impressed ever since. So, we find out things from each other and we learn from each other. Gareth, our society has become lazy. Unfortunately, I agree with you. Yes. It's unfortunate that I have to agree with you. It's an odd mindset to support someone until they become successful. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you what makes you a better person, in my opinion, is after they become successful, continuing supporting them. I think that's what you meant. And I want to see people succeed. I want to see Chad, the bearded Manjaro, succeed. I want to see Dino and Steve and all these other reviewers succeed. These small batch companies, I want to see them succeed. And anything that I can do, somebody asked me one time, and I'm going to start wrapping it up, but guys, but one of the things that somebody reached out to me and said, I never see you do a negative review. Kind of like that was a bad thing, right? Okay. And my reply, and this wasn't like in private, this was out in the open, right? On somebody's page. And I said, okay. And I didn't go back negative with him. I said, well, let me ask you this. What you don't see behind the scenes doesn't mean that it's not happening. Okay. If I've got something, if I get a beard oil, if somebody, if somebody reaches out to me, because I'm going to buy a beard oil from them. Okay. I'm not going to ask them for something for free. That's just me. All right. But if they wind up sending extra stuff, hey, that's up to them. It's their business. It's up for them, but I'm going to purchase something from them. Right. So when I get that product, if I don't like it, I'm not going to just jump right on social media and start saying this is the worst thing I've ever tried in my life. Now, there is a place for that, okay, but not for me. There are people that do that and can do that because they have been around a Dan C, which you're not going to hear him get on bash a bunch of companies, but you have seen videos where he's got on and say, hey, look, but I guarantee you there's always a follow-up of, this is what they could do better, right? So what I'll do is if I get something in and some of these small batch companies will be on here and will tell you that I will reach out to them and say, hey, you may want to do this, or you may want to try this, or you may want to adjust this on your website. You may want to add this. You may want to take this away. Okay, carrot oil blends. When people reach out, guys, I am not Corey Weatherby. I am not Chris and Tara of True North. I do not make beard oils. Okay, I know it works for me. So when people reach out and say, well, what should I do about this? Well, I can give you a broad spectrum. And that's not knocking anybody, or I can kind of point them in the right direction of somebody who might be able to help them. That's why I mentioned on this show today, hey, so-and-so, you may want to reach out to so-and-so. They might be able to help you out. So I don't do that for a living, guys. I'm a professional Santa Claus. I get on and do beard content reviews and make Christmas videos, but I know it works for me, and I can get on there and talk about it and tell you what it smells like and how it feels in beard. That doesn't make me an expert in the carrier oil blends. All right. I can tell you what they do. Okay. But that doesn't mean I know I hope this is making sense, guys, but that doesn't mean I can tell you the ratios that you need to add and all that. That's where the Dan C's come in, and they've put in the hours and the study and in the labs and all of that. And they're the ones that can talk about that. Okay. So if somebody asks me a question like that and I don't know the answer, here I'll go over to Dan C's channel. I click on the search bar and type it. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, I can go back and say, hey, well, Dan C put out this video. Why don't you check this out? All right. So guys, hey, try to catch up on some of this before I head out of here, guys. Bearder Majabro says you can be honest without bashing a company. I 100% agree, and I tend to reach out to them on a personal level. If they don't answer me or they don't want to talk about it, I just won't review their product. That's my right, and that's their right not to answer me, right? Garrett said every man is guilty of the good he did not do. An important thing is for us all to remember. Yeah. Absolutely an important thing. Absolutely. Gareth, that's a great quote. Do you do unto others as you'd have them do unto you? Golden rule. 100% agree. Couldn't agree more. That's what I try to live my life by. Let me say that's what I attempt and try to live my life by. Because trust me, it's not easy sometimes. I am the same way. I never want to trash a company, but won't promote it if it isn't good. Yep, absolutely. But what work to do better the product. Absolutely, man. And Chad, that's why I follow you, support you, because that's the way you are. Amber, just like my job, if you have a problem, then come to me with some possible solutions. 100%. 100%. It's one of the things I used to do as when I was a major in the correctional facilities, and one of my lieutenants would come up saying, hey, Major, we have the problem. We have exactly the same thing. I'd say, well, what's your solution? Even though I know the answer and what the best thing, but what I may think may be the best solution may not be the best solution. I want to hear what they got to say, because I may learn something. Now, I wasn't going to let them know that I learned something from them right then, right? But I would just say, okay, well, let's go ahead and try that, right? And if it didn't work, we both learned something. Don't do that again. All right, unless it was a life or death situation, of course, but if they needed help and they come in, Major, I need some advice. Okay, and I would tell them, like I would tell my kids, well, this is what I would do, right? And that's pretty much how the bearded community, I think, what we're talking about. Dino, nothing but love and respect for you, my fellow amigo. Hey, I appreciate you, brother. I really do. Paul, making thinkers. Paul's another one. Paul is part of the round robin crew, guys. Another small batch reviewer, guys. Paul, I hope you're doing good out there in Louisiana. Appreciate you jumping on, guys. I've taken an hour of your time. It doesn't even seem like an hour. I know I could talk forever. Yeah, Gareth, that's what Santa Claus is all about, projecting nothing but positivity to others. At least that's what it should be, right? That's what it's supposed to be. Somebody asked me, how can you go out there and it's like you put that suit on, you become like, for me, it's like becoming a superhero. And I'm always reminded of that quote, that Burt Reynolds said to Sally Fields in Smokey and the Bandit, when she asked him in the car, what do you do? And he says, I show off, right? Now, not in a bad way, but yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. We're entertainers, right? We're there to make memories for children, to portray that positive, the atmosphere, and just make magical moments. One of the best things, and I'll end with this, one of the best things I think you can hear from a parent is, thank you for making this night magical for my children or my grandchild, right? That's just one of the most magical things that it makes me feel so good. All the other things, just go out the window. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me on my first. This is my first live on my channel, guys. I wanted to try it out. I hope you got something out of it, because I got something from all of you guys, brother. Guys, I'm going to end it with this. It may be corny, but I end everything with this, guys. Remember, this world could use a little kindness, so be kind to one another. And as always, keep Christmas in your heart year-round. See you guys. Go over there, jump on and join Corey live at Weatherbeard Supply Co. on Instagram. See you later.